if Forest have got something to finally sort of cheer about and smile about at the end of this really stressful season. And obviously, I've still not heard anything about the points appeal to the Premier League, so we don't know if they'll have any points added on yet. I guess you have to assume that they won't really, and just that's probably the best mentality to have. But we said, didn't we, beating Sheffield United, and that might be it for the relegation race. And they won 3-1. And I know Sheffield United are already relegated, so there's an element of like mentally it's probably not a game they're going to be up for. But Forest had to be. They had to be quite disciplined and they had to take their chances. And they really did. And I think one player in particular kind of embodied that, didn't he? Callum Hudson-Odoi, he's coming into form again, looking fantastic for them this season, despite all their off-field struggles. He's been a shining light. And in this game, he took it by the scruff of the neck, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, he's been, we've mentioned him a few weeks ago, didn't we? And we've mentioned his transfer fee and obviously his history of that transfer fiasco with obviously Bayern Munich were looking to buy him for 50 million.
Yeah,
and obviously
incredible.
Chelsea turned it down and then obviously got rid of him for pittance to Forest, and it's been to Forest's gain. He's been superb. We've always knew he was a huge talent when he was a young lad. Obviously had that success with England in the 17s when they went and won that championship as part of that team with Jadon Sancho, and he was the star in that team. We always knew the potential was massive, the ceiling's so high, and it was a question of whether he could sort of reach that and fulfil that potential. And he's showing what he's all about. Again, these 2 goals are brilliant. And, it sounds really easy to say, when you're an opposing fan and say, just don't let him cut onto his favourite foot. Don't let him cut in. But it's easy said than done. Like, he just chops the shoulder so seamlessly, and it's a great finish, particularly the first one, because the ball doesn't sit up perfectly at all. Just caresses.
It was hard. Yeah.
Just caresses it, curls it into that far corner. We've seen him do it over and over before for Chelsea and in the youth team as well. So it's really good just to see him kind of having that resurgence of form. We knew he was capable of doing it. And it's the Forest's game. They've obviously, they look like they're going to stay up at the minute. I don't want to jinx anything, hope Forest fans, but
it's 3 points, isn't it? It's still overcomable, isn't it, for the teams below them? But Luton drawing with Everton and Burnley getting thrashed by Newcastle 4-1, kind of, it shows that the teams below them are actually struggling for tiredness and energy now, and this kind of campaign is taking its toll on them. And I think this is where Nottingham Forest can actually flex their squad depth a little bit more, because they've got quality below the first 11, haven't they, that have stepped in when they've needed it. And there were some plays on that pitch in the game against Sheffield United that were brilliant. I thought Danilo again, and Murillo, he just played brilliantly. He had another one of those games, didn't he, when nothing passed him. And I don't think the relegation rivals have got that. And I don't think this will be the last of the points that Luton and Burnley drop either, with the last couple of games left of the season, do you?
No, they've not got an easy game, not easy running, to be honest. We did say, didn't we, Forest got more favourable running with these last few games. And look, we said that we felt Luton had to beat Everton on Friday, didn't we? And obviously just came up short there, just to give them that, I think just to give them that energy and belief, because I think if they could have won that game, it would have, could have made it really interesting. And let's be honest, obviously it's still 2 more, there's still 2 more games to go. I mean, anything can happen. So we'll see what happens, but I do think now that Forest still stay up. Do you know what? One thing, do you think they'll be questioning whether Nuno's the right man in the summer? Let's be honest. This we've known that this ownership have done crazy things.
I think so, and I don't think they'd be wrong to consider their options as well. Do you? Because I mean, they've got a team of players that are super talented. I don't think they're going to need much adding to it as well to make it a mid-table team. They should be doing better. They should be scoring more goals. Maybe defensively they need a bit more support, but I think generally it's a really well-balanced team. And going forward, I think the quality they've got is brilliant. Awondia at his best is brilliant. Chris Wood's actually proved an able deputy this season. Obviously, Anthony Langa and Callum Hudson-Odoi have been fantastic. There's been so much attacking threat there. It's just a case of set pieces for a start, which I know they're going to focus on. But that starts on the training ground, doesn't it?
I think you're right about the defence. I think they probably just need an experienced head in there. When they've had Bolly in there, actually, they look a little bit more assured, I think. just somebody to sort of guide those younger players around in the likes of Murillo, Nico Williams, and
Yeah,
I think he just gives them that little bit more structure. And I think that's probably what they need. Probably someone,
a
another centre
goalkeeper
back.
as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So it'd be fascinating to see what they do in the transfer window. I think, attacking wise, there'll probably be questioning whether Chris Wood's missed a lot of big chances these last few weeks. A lot of big chances. And, that could come back to bite them. You never know. But I think they'll be potentially looking for another striker. One, he's obviously had his fitness problems again this season. So I think they should be looking for another striker, to be honest.
You still not really answered the question about whether Nuno's the right man, though. Do you think they should consider their options? Do you think that's harsh on him, considering the kind of hand he's been dealt this season? Or do you think that they're probably fair to kind of look elsewhere and think maybe there's a better coach for this team?
I think when they made the decision to obviously get rid of Steve Cooper, I think, they gave him enough time to sort of make his adjustments and kind of put his imprint on this team. But I don't know whether there's been a massive improvement, to be honest. I think it wouldn't surprise me if they did look to make a change. But they obviously need to start putting the feelers out now. I mean, the likes of, you mentioned Ruben Amorim. We've, mentioned a few weeks ago about him and the talks with West Ham. There's no reason why they shouldn't be looking at play like this. This is a massive club, Forest. Like the amount of history they've got, there's no reason why they shouldn't be an attractive proposition to him, like coaches of his prestige. And I think they should be looking. They should definitely be open to the idea of it.